Hi friends, good morning. The issue that I am sharing with you, India and Egypt relationship. This is a very strategic one. A strategic one that means that India officially recognized that we have to build the relationship at the strategic level. You know, strategic level means the defense, particularly defense. Defense means the defense is a larger term. The cyber security we have to build, and the army base. This relationship is crucial for India because of at the Djibouti port, China has built up the army base at the neck of Indian Ocean region connecting with the Mediterranean Sea. At the neck of this to river connectivity, to seas and ocean connectivity, they have built up their military base. So you have to think of this is a very significant action done by the China, and India must have to prepare for this to counter the China's this effort in an adverse situation, in a hostile situation, in a hostile level. India and China is a very competitive steps, very competitive countries. Diplomatically, they both are playing in the region. Yes, of course, China has little bit advantage because they have strong checkbooks, but it has very bad image. That is, his political image is very bad. That is annoying. His political structure is actually authoritarian. People don't have representation in their governance. There is a lack of transparency in the system of Chinese system. So when the China is making somebody straight, developing relations with somebody, it is opaque, it is not transparent. Nobody can know what kind of agreement they have done. What are the conditions of the agreement? So this is actually annoying the country. And they are thinking about the next power, because these are global south countries are very much isolated in the world affairs. And as India is growing, their representation is a moral duty for India, because India is a democratic nation. Democratic doesn't mean that only the government are being elected. Democracy is the thing that people's sentiment, people saying the people's matter are being represented, in the governance system. That is the democratic system. And in larger analysis, if you think of India is definitely a democratic nation. In a larger analysis. So the question comes to you that there is a China angle for this relationship. Egypt relationship has a China angle as well. That is why India is also developing his relationship with Egypt at the mouth of this channel. because there is Somalia, is, there is a piracy issue, and there is poverty, and etc. There is poorest political, there is no stability, no political stability, there is chaos. And if you see the other countries around this, so there is a problem. And Egypt is a best relation because India has relationship with older relationship with Egypt called Misra, from Indus Valley civilization, approximately 3500 years back. If you go, India was trading with this Misra, Egyptian empire. So India has a relationship, older civilizational relationship with the Egypt, but there is political difference. This is a democratic nation, and Egypt is a autocratic nation, and we are making a relationship with the autocratic government, Mr. Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, who came to India as a Republic Day chief guest. India invited him. The world were watching the action and relationship, but the India is very much close with the Western nations, so they was quite silent about the issue. They don't even raise their voice. When a democratic nation develops relationship with any autocratic nations, it hurts. But in a democracy, there is, but in diplomacy, there is no reason of, So we have to build a relationship with Egypt from historical, cultural to context, and a strategic defense concept as well. And we are developing it, and India is playing very rightly to Egypt. And as Egypt is a, African nations, India has very recently convened a meeting about Global South voice of Global South. So he raised the issue, and he get the issue of Global South, and being represented into the G20 meeting to solve the related problems of Global South. So India is becoming the voice of the Global South, okay? A leader of Global South. 100 plus countries are behind me as a political asset, and I am feeling my fielders in the field. I am tightening the feeling. Okay. So the overall players of my cabinet, and the captain of the cabinet is, of course, a good player. He is being in the politics from 30 years plus. So he is a very seasoned diplomat. So the relationship with Egypt is very crucial for India. Whatever the political setup the Egypt has, we don't matter. If the people are happy and there, that's okay. They have to go through this political structure. But the Republic Day, Egyptian, the President Al-Sisi, India Republic Day chief guest who came to power in Egypt in 2013 through a coup. They toppled the government, And then that government was very corrupt, and of course, you know, is trying to build a careful balance between the West and East while keeping the country under his tight control. As Al-Sisi is a dictator, yes. Dictator, that doesn't mean he does not came into power by the people's will, or I don't know the will of the people are with the Al-Sisi or not, but he toppled the government and came to power. So I have never gone to Egypt. People of the Egypt know very well how they are governing. But if he is governing since 10 years, so there is no chaos in the country. So it is, I think the things are going right. That's why people are cooperating with this government. Otherwise, they would have to topple this government as well. Some gist, the Hindu, I'm quoting with you because of the reason is when the Arab protest broke out in Egypt against President Hosni Mubarak in 2011. Abdul Fattah al-Sisi was the director of the military intelligence. He was the director of military intelligence in 2011, and the Hosni Mubarak, the president of on that time. After Mubarak was ousted, Mohammed Morsi, the Egyptian first and only elected president, Egyptian first and only elected president, Mohammed Morsi, and on made Sisi, who had helped the democratic transition, his defense minister. In June 2013, as protests broke out against the President Morsi policies, Sisi came on television, sacking Morsi from office and taking power in the military hand. So, if you see the political structure of the Egypt, there is no democracy at all. It is a very dictatorship, and people have don't representation in their governance. So there is no reason of people's representation. So sorry for this. But I don't like. I want a system, a governance system where people's representation, people's say must be. Ever since it had consolidated, ever since he has consolidated power, sidelining critics, crackdowns on dissents, launching ambitious infrastructure projects, and sought to build a strong ties with global powers from the US to China and, of course, India. So that's okay. What can I say? If there is no democracy, that's okay. Thank you very much. But India's relationship is very important with Egypt, whoever the ruler may be. Thank you very much.